Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Go.
Oh.
Do you want the salmon?
Do you not like salmon?
Well, I could take it or leave it. So if you want the salmon, if you like salmon.
I like salmon, but
Sounds like she's trying to fob it off to
Okay. Do you want the salmon?
Do you want tuna?
I don't mind. So if you want salmon, I feel like if anyone
I have no preference.
if anyone here likes salmon, then I feel like they'd get more money value out of the salmon.
Oh, it's only half salmon. Half of it is still
Yeah.
tuna. You gotta whack it so that it has an even split. Oh!
Stop! Yeah.
Pretty good.
How did you make that up?
No. I wish I did. Because that'd make me feel even cooler.
Here's your imaginary microphone.
Just without spelling
Welcome
it.
to Nomad TV episode 2. Today we've got Philippa Thomas. What do you do, Philippa?
I'm a celebrant. I'm a wedding celebrant. Celebrant. Officiant is what Americans call it. A lot of people don't know what a celebrant is. Fun fact. Fun fact, I got married in Napier.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, out at Cape Kidnappers.
Kidnappers.
What a fantastic name.
Cape Kidnappers, yeah. I think it was Jaden said recently that we got married at the kidnapping place.
How did you become a celebrant, Philippa?
I became a celebrant because I was engaged to be married. I was 6 months pregnant and I had a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I went to a wedding show to look at weddings and got really frustrated at the lack of diversity within the wedding industry, the lack of wanting to step outside of this pre-formulated box that all weddings had to be. I had people say to me at the wedding show, we can't help you because I didn't want what they were selling. And I got in the car and I said to my friend, surely I'm not the only person that doesn't want this cookie cutter wedding. And she said, why don't you become a celebrant? And so I did.
Wow.
Bam. And confirmation of being a celebrant came through 2 days after I got married. So I've been a celebrant as long as I've been married.
Wow.
Which, because it came in after my marriage license doesn't say marriage celebrant.
Oh.
And they can't change it because it happened after the wedding. Oh, so annoying.
Is it true that you are the #1 celebrant in New Zealand?
Just put that one down. I don't think I can eat this tidily. I mean, it's, I guess technically last year I did the highest number of weddings in New Zealand. So if there were a way to measure celebrants, that would be it. It was about 175-ish. Somewhere in there. I can't remember the exact number.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mad numbers. Like what? How did I even? That equates to about 3 or 4 a week, every week for the whole year, which is a lot. But it's awesome. So I guess yes, if there were a way to measure, that is the only way you can measure celebrants. Then yes, I am number
So does that mean you dethroned Andy?
I did. Did I? I did dethrone Andy.
Get wrecked, Andy.
I did. But hey, watch this space because I feel like he might dethrone me again this year.
Wow.
Shout out Andy because he's my bestie.
Imagine being celebrant best friends that alternate being the best in New Zealand year in, year out.
I know.
That's pretty gangster.
It was quite cool to reach #1 last year because even though the numbers don't matter, the list we take it with a grain of salt because there's so many other factors involved, like obviously living here gives us, we get a lot of people getting married here. So that gives us a leg up. Anyway, so every marriage that's registered in New Zealand is public information.
Right.
And a few years ago, some celebrants figured that out and they started putting through official information requests to find out where they sat in their region.
Right.
And it happened constantly again and again and again. And so the DIA just got sick of it.
Right.
And they were like, stop putting through these official information requests that cost money every time. And we're just going to release every year, annually, we're just going to release a list. It's a spreadsheet and it has every celebrant in New Zealand and how many weddings they did. And there are about 4,000 celebrants in New Zealand. And 2/3 of those celebrants do less than 10 weddings a year. This is why, location matters. The numbers that me, Andy, Sarah, the Queenstown Celebrants, the numbers that we're pumping out are like double
Wow.
the people closest to
Wow.
us. Auckland Celebrants are up there, but a lot of Auckland Celebrants do a lot of registry weddings, the $90, what used to be a registry office.
Right.
So yeah, but number one, that's up for, that's opinion based.
So, how do you get so popular like this, Philippa?
Do you know, I don't know. I actually have no idea. That's a good question.
Well, I feel like, you've got this amazing ability to put everyone at ease.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's yeah.
Like, when we have sort of, couples who are a little bit stressed out about whatever, maybe the weather or something like that. When you're around, I find that couples just are like, yeah, sweet as, it's all good. You've got this vibe.
Mm.
Well, that's
Whereas
nice. I think
every
because
wedding,
ultimately it doesn't matter. They're going to end up married.
yeah.
There's no problem too big to warrant getting upset. One thing that I am really good at doing that I've learned, and I had someone say it to me recently, is I'm really good at looking neutral when I'm panicking internally.
That's a good skill. Isn't there a Japanese proverb that's like, okay, there's a problem. Is there a solution? Yes? Then great. Don't worry about it. Is there no solution? Oh, is there nothing you can do? Then great. Don't worry about it. It may not be Japanese. This is actually the Dalai Lama. But if there is no solution to the problem, then don't waste time worrying about it. If there is a solution to the problem, then don't waste time worrying about it.
What's the Japanese? Hakuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
it means no
Hakuna
worries for the
Matata.
rest of your days.
It's a
Problem free.
problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
I was going to do that.
Oh, Mumble.
Have you seen The Lion King?
No,
What?
You have seen the Lion
I
King.
have not seen
You
it.
have.
I have not seen both of them.
What do you mean both of them?
There's like a new version and
Have you
there's-
seen
Oh,
the
there
original?
is.
No,
Ah,
That's illegal.
James.
That's illegal.
I have not.
That's actually illegal. Yeah. A woomba a woomba a woomba. What do
What
do they say in Japanese?
I don't know. We
Oh.
know what's going on.
A winga
Winga
waka.
waka.
Winga waka.
That sounds right. Winga waka.
That's so cute.
What do you love about being a celebrant?
It's just so much fun. I feel like it utilises all the skills that I knew that I had as a young adult but didn't know where to put it. I had a manager at a job. I applied for a management role and he said to me, this isn't the job for you. There's a job out there for you. And he said, I don't know if it's marketing or what, but you're better used elsewhere. And at the time I was like, so rude. This is really rude.
Yeah.
And they hired someone who was not good. But in hindsight, he was right because it uses, like, I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at putting people at ease. I've got a hell of a loud voice. I've always done public speaking. Public speaking is not a problem. It sort of just integrates it all into one really cool job that I didn't know existed until I found it and wouldn't do anything else. It's the best job ever. I actually, one of the, I said I was at a wedding show. I looked at a Celebrant initially as a stepping stone into being a planner, and then I realised how stressful being a planner is, and now I'm like, Celebrant's good. I didn't ever envisage it becoming a full-time job, and the fact that it has is just the best. I love it.
As a planner, I would say that hiring a good celebrant is like the magic sauce, sort of like your soy sauce to the sushi.
So, yeah, which I've run out of. They used it all at once.
That's what
It's a
happens
great
when
lot of
celebrants
wasabi.
walk out.
I love wasabi.
Yeah, I think the role of the celebrant is often underrated in a wedding. I think it really does make or break the whole atmosphere of the wedding. The thing with being a celebrant is that there's no repeat custom. So if you're rubbish, if you don't have, there's no benchmark. So there's no, that one was crap, so next time I'll get a better one, because there normally isn't a next time. And if there was a next time, you certainly wouldn't use the same one. So I think a celebrant, it's easy to be an average celebrant, which is why I'm doing a lot of mentoring at the moment to try and help there be less celebrants at this level and more at mine and Andy's caliber.
When we started wedding planning, you were the first celebrant we worked with, so you
Because
were the
we
average for us.
Because we were besties.
Yeah. So Philippa was basically like our benchmark for celebrants. And
You didn't know how good you had it.
yeah.
Oh,
What was that? What was that? What was that, Philippa? You just keep.
Totally gonna zoom in.
I can't.
Cut. Can you stare into the camera while you do this? That was epic.
So good.
What are some challenges with being a celebrant?
There's a lot of admin that I think a lot of people don't realise. A lot of questions. Just a lot of, there's a lot more groundwork than people realise goes into it. Turning away bookings, I hate turning away a booking. An inquiry comes through and it's really cool. They sound really cool people, but I'm already booked that day. You can't, can't be in two places at once, which is sad. Another challenge is just running your own business. One of the things with being a celebrant that isn't really talked about much is how hard it is to, I don't think we'll ever feel like we are at the top. Like I know we talk about me and Andy being near the top. It still doesn't ever feel like it's enough, and it's something with Sarah Noble as well that we talk about, that you can keep pushing and pushing and pushing and it still does. And I think there's wedding industry all around because it's such a fickle industry and it's so reliant on people choosing you, and that can be hard from a mental health perspective, from a
Rejection point of view.
well, I mean, it's hard not to though, and yeah, I know, well, but it's, you get into a stage where you don't have bookings for 3 days and you start to spiral about why you weren't chosen for 3 days in a row,
What do you feel about all those weddings that get rescheduled because of the weather and what are your thoughts about it?
I don't mind them if I can make it work. If I can't do a wedding because the weather's bad and I'm available the day before and we move, it's no problem. Where it becomes frustrating is when I'm not available, and so then comes the discussion of, does the celebrant get replaced, or does the wedding, does the shape of the wedding change? And I had a couple last year who actually fought for me. The weather meant that the wedding was going to change and I was not available. And the couple actually fought to keep me, even though it completely changed their wedding. And that was when I found out that their wedding might change. I got really upset because I was really connected to them. And so when I got the call to say that they had decided that it was important to have me there, that was really nice, because I knew that I wasn't just making up the connection that we had, and they did, and they fought for me to be there, and I really appreciated that. But I know that doesn't always happen. In some couples, for some couples, the helicopter, the mountaintop, that's what's important to them, and that's fair as well. Roy's Peak, yep, Coromandel Peak. It's frustrating, but it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? I do like to, if I can't do a wedding, I do like to pass it on to my little group, because I know that my intellectual property is protected and I know that they're the same. But sometimes we have to go outside of that because we're also very busy. So I think the only time I get territorial? Is that the word?
Yep, territorial.
I feel like there were too many syllables in that word. Yeah, when celebrants from other countries come here and don't utilise local vendors and don't, like, they sell the product that you don't need to use local vendors, and I think that's a worldwide thing. If you're going to go somewhere and sell your services, utilise local vendors. I mean, I certainly notice the difference when it's a local photographer versus a photographer from out of town. My workload is a lot more when it's an out of town photographer, because I have to then do a lot of the stuff that the
Compensate a lot
photographer
more.
would normally do in like location scouting and things, which is fine. And I understand bringing photographers in from around the country, around the world. And I know that a lot of photographers travel, and here I am saying I want to go to Japan and do weddings anyway. So, I mean, yeah.
And they don't know the shots. They don't know the shots. you
Nah,
know? They don't know.
they don't know.
We know.
They don't know the secrets.
We know the
They don't know
secrets.
the secrets. We can't keep the
Hire
secrets.
us. We're local.
How long have you been here?
A year.
Yeah, you're a local.
I'm a local.
Hard and fast. How long have you been here?
4 years.
Ah, my
4
gosh, you
years.
practically were born
Well,
here.
if we combined our localness together, my average would go way up.
Yeah.
So, because I've learnt from these guys, so of course,
Your localness,
my
yeah.
localness.
I mean, you live here, that makes you a
Mummy's
local.
not here, but she's been here for like a long time. So
True.
bumps up the average for us.
Go local or go home, basically.
Unless it's in Japan, in which case,
Please.
hire us. Let's take us to Japan. I can also marry people in 3 United States.
Really?
Yeah, don't ask me which ones because I can't remember, but I did an online certificate.
Okay.
Actually, I think I can do it in most United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Wisconsin?
Sure.
Wow.
I don't know.
Who's your favourite wedding planner?
Oh, you guys, obviously.
We're wedding
Awkward.
planners.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We're wedding planners.
I told you I can't pick
Go
favourites.
local.
Why are you Maori?
Why? Oh my God, Josh, you can't just ask people. Have you seen Mean Girls? Have you seen them? Oh. Well, I can talk to it a lot. Māori culture in weddings is really important. And it's something that I love doing. It's something I'll do when anyone asks me to. I'm not super fluent in Māori, but I am conversational enough to be able to put something together.
Wow.
And I'm very, very good at reading it. Yes, James? Question in the back?
How do you say sushi in
I don't know.
Maori?
I don't know, but I do have an app, so I could probably tell you.
How do you say weddings?
Well, marina is marriage. Marina.
Marina.
Marina. So there's a macron, which is the line over the first A, which you elongate it. So that's why it becomes marina. Sushi's not on the Māori dictionary. We've noticed an influx of people requesting Māori culture when they come from Australia in the last few years with the increase in awareness around First Nations in Australia and the acknowledgement of land and that whole side of the culture that I've seen really develop in Australia in the last couple of years. That hasn't had it, in turn, people are requesting it here. We don't do the same kind of welcome to the land as the First Nations do. It's slightly different approach, I guess. But there are other things that can be offered. So it's like, rather than doing exactly what you would do in Australia, but translating it to Māori, rather than do that, I would do a Māori version of it. But it's easy to put Māori into ceremonies, and I love that more and more people are asking.
And I noticed that you're one of the few celebrants that does open with a Māori.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the only celebrants locally that is confident enough to put it freely into ceremonies, which is causing a few issues at the moment in weddings that I can't do and finding replacements.
Interesting.
I can do it.
Can you?
No.
Because it's not about being able to read the words. I think it's about knowing the words and pronouncing them. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but you normally put like an English explanation on it.
I always will put an English explanation unless the couple. Remember we did that couple a few years ago on Vanguard, and they spoke fluent Māori, and so half that ceremony was in Māori. That was so much fun.
That's epic.
Like we did like the vows. So much of that ceremony was in Māori,
So cool.
and I didn't have to translate it because they spoke more than I did.
Yeah.
I'm always nervous when there's a big Māori crowd in front of me because I know that I'm not as proficient as a lot of people who've spoken it their whole lives, but I know enough to get by.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
You know what we had for Kai with
What?
Sushi.
Did you?
Yeah, we had sushi.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah.
I did know
We
that.
went to that Japanese restaurant in town.
Oh, it's nice there.
Oh,
And also-
how do you say thank you in Te Reo Māori?
Well, so kia ora
Let's
is
say, how do you say thank you and goodbye?
kia ora e rawa atu. Ka kite. Haere inohora. Inohora is if you are leaving and the person is staying. Haere is if you are leaving.
We should all just learn like a quick sentence and say the camera.
What do you want to say? Puku. Yeah, puku. Yeah. You know, there's heads, shoulders, knees and toes. The Māori song, u puku paka hiwi puku hope wai wai. U puku. Puku puku puku. Puku 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 wai wai. U puku. Pako hiwi. I was saying to my daughter in the car this morning that no matter how old I get, u puku. No matter how old I get, I still say little tunes for things in life. And that's one of them. If I'm trying to remember the word for a body part, I'll be like, and like, because what I was saying to her, like every time I go to do something with like a drill or something, I always say, lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yeah, same. I'm the same.
And left and right.
We need to finish off with haere.
Haere. Or you could say, ka kite is what I say,
Ka kite.
which means goodbye.
Yeah.
Ka kite.
Tākite.
And if you say ka kite e hoa ma, means goodbye, my friends.
E hoa ma.
Yeah, hoa,
kite
hoa
e
is
hoa ma.
friend.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ka kite
E hoa ma.
Again?
That's why I love to sing in the Maori song.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
So how do you know, how can you find a New Zealander in a crowd? Just say tu tira mai na iwi. So there's a song where you
Whoa.
sing, because you would have heard that song, right? Having gone to school in New Zealand? No? You sing, aha kamana para tāwanga wha, e he me na pēra te winga whi. E he me na pēra te winga whi. O kumo no poto tōnga wha. A e, I o, u, hu kamu na pēra te winga whi.